Hello and welcome to today's video where I will be teaching you how to use the pen tool in Photoshop. Today I will be teaching you how you can create curves or jagged edges as well as the sub tools for the pen tool. So first what we're going to do is we're going to open Photoshop. It doesn't matter what we're working with, it depends on whether you're doing a logo or whatever you're doing a design, it doesn't matter. This concept works for anything. Now on the toolbar here on the left side, we're going to go ahead and find the icon that looks like the tip of a pen. Now that we've done this, if we take a look at our hotbar up top, we are presented with a few options. First we have the fill. That fills anything inside the shape that you create. You also have your stroke, which is outside of the shape or outside of the fill. And what you can also do is you can create lines as well, of course. That is being with the fill off. And if you just want it to be the shape itself without a stroke, you can do as so. Under the pen tool, you also have a path option, which you can make a path. Your path will show up in this list. You can convert the path to a shape or a selection. And you can also go to select, save selection, and you can also load that selection later on if you choose. Now that we've covered the paths, we're not going to go too deep into the paths, but we're going to focus rather on the shapes. So coming back, we're going to make sure stroke is disabled. And we're going to use fill just to give you a general idea. So while the pen tool is selected, you're going to first make your control point. Control points are represented by a blue cube, or sorry, a blue square. You can either choose to create a jagged edge, or you can create a curve by left clicking, hold and drag. As you notice, we have a series of control points that we can manipulate by holding control. So for instance, we have this one that we want to move around. We can hold control, left click and drag. If you want to convert it from a point to a curve, all you have to do is left click, hold down on your left alt, click and drag, and you can do so. As you notice that with every curve you are presented with these two circles, these two white circles. Those are what is known as handles. So these two dots represent your handles. If you want to move the handles around, you can. If you want to move an individual handle, you can do so by holding left alt and manipulate each handle as shown. And sorry, I forgot to mention, if you want to move both handles around, like for instance, let's go to this one, or this one. You would just simply hold your left control. So left control handles both of them, left alt handles one of them. And that is how you create curves, jagged edges, and manipulate where they can move, manipulate the degree or the angle. You can even You can even start, for instance, you can start going up like this, and you can click over here and create a curve. Or you can just see, and as you notice, the blue line is kind of like a preview of your curve. Again, if you just want it as a line, take out the fill, have a stroke. You can feel free to adjust the size. I had mine up just to make it easier to view, and boom, we have a curve. So that is how you work with curves and jagged edges using the pen tool. Now I know I briefly ran through this, but once you are finished, you are going to notice that these shapes appear in your layers panel. All you have to do is, before you go to export your design, make sure you rasterize. The reason being is when you are creating these shapes, they are vectors at first, which means, you know, there's no pixel information, it's just straight lines. When you rasterize it, it converts it into pixels, and it doesn't have really a loss of quality. It's just actually applying pixels to the image itself, because this is technically an image. But the main note is to rasterize your design before exporting. Other than that, that is how you work with that. Of course, if you go to either fill or stroke, you can also choose from gradients. So you can do, like, for instance, we can do this, or you could do patterns as well. And yeah, there you have it. That is how you do it. Now, don't mind my ugly designs here. This is, of course, just to make it as easy or brief as possible without cluttering your mind. But if you have questions, feel free to let me know in the comments, or feel free to reach out. If you're looking for more if you're looking for more content, feel free to like and subscribe. Especially like it if you found this helpful. Dislike it if you have not. I'm gonna be honest, it took me months to get comfortable with this tool. So I'm not saying it's gonna be something that's gonna come natural to you in like the next 2 minutes, but everyone learns at a different pace. Mine just happens to be longer than a lot of others. Nothing wrong with that. But feel free to rewatch this, pause, and gather as much information in as possible. Take notes for sure. But that is how you do it. Alright, I think that's going to be it. Be sure to stay tuned for the next tutorial.